Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is June 22nd and here is an update on my succulent plants. So on my channel I've done a bunch of videos on how to propagate these plants, and some of the videos are very old and I didn't do updates because I didn't think people would want to see how the plants are doing. But it's been years now. Some of these plants are really old, and if you want to see some of the Jade video earlier, I will post links so you can take a look. A lot of them were propagated from just leaves and a few were from branches, and I propagated a bunch more, and I actually did one recently on how to propagate these over here and those over there, and the request is to see what the plants look like now. So let me show you in details. So this is a variegated jade that we propagated from a branch. Last year in winter time it got really cold, and I cut a branch off to bring inside, and then the original parent plant died because it froze off in the winter time. So I was able to save a few. And this one here is just a little branch that I also cut off of that one because it got so large. So this is the original propagated plant here, and then those are the Christmas cactus that we also propagated somewhere over here. These guys grow a lot slower than some of the other succulent because I think it doesn't like the heat too much. Right now the heat is like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so I leave this guy outdoor. It gets like 4 to 5 hours of sun direct, so it gets really hot, and then in the afternoon it gets shade. So it works well for jade, but the Christmas cactus suffer a little bit. I think they like more of indirect light than direct light, unless the heat is not too extreme. You see how the leaves is kind of thin and not as plump. So that's usually the reason for these guys. They 100 degrees Fahrenheit weather would direct onto these guys are not too good for them. They're usually grown as an indoor plant, so you will see that they grow really nice and plump. So because they're in a pot with all of these, so they get the same treatment. So anyway, propagating these is very easy, as I have shown you guys. And all it is, look at this one here. Actually, the leaf fell off. Look at that. I think I probably damaged somehow or did something. Okay, so here's a leaf, and if it happens to fall off, all you have to do is just place it in the soil like that. And make sure the soil is moist. You don't have to water too often. Just dry soil is not good. Moist soil is perfect, but if it's too wet, then the leaves will rot. So you want just enough so that the soil is moist, and that's it. You just leave it there and they'll grow. These are here, especially, they're the easiest to propagate from leaf, and if you cut the stem, they propagate even better. So if you want faster growth, cut the branch and then let the cut part dry out a little bit so it can heal up, and then put it into soil, moist soil, and it will grow back quickly. You can do leaves as well. Even the damaged leaves will work. Look at this one here. So the leaves broke in half, and look at that. And I just left it in the moist soil and it grew. You see those little callus right there? So those will become a plant very soon. And then the rest of them here, like these here, yeah. See, it grows little roots already, so you can just dig it up and put into a different spot. And this is from was a leaf. See, that one was a leaf. Now it's a branch on its own. So if you take that out, put them into nice soil, that will grow. All of these here were all leaves. Look at this. Okay, let's go around and I'll show you the different succulent plants that I have going on here. So this one here, as I mentioned earlier, is the variegated jade, and I forgot the name of this one here. So I got these as a very small plant, and then I keep picking the leaves off and growing more and more. And then see that's one of them right there, and here's the leaf that's starting to grow a new plant. And then I got some more over here, and that's all from either this one or that one. See, I just dropped one of the leaves. So if you accidentally knock one over, just put it like that, and that will grow into a new plant. So then I have Christmas cactus. Those are easy to propagate as well. I have a video on how to do that. And then that's it for that pot. And then here I have these jade plants here, and these are a few years old. And the very first video I did is way back. I forgot what the actual date was. Look at the size of those trunk there. So I bought these as, actually I didn't buy them, I got it a small branch from a friend. It's around that size right here. And then I pick a bunch of the leaves off, and then I propagated them. And so most of these here are propagated from a single leaf, so they can get very big. It's just it takes a very long time because these are very slow growing plants. And then I have some more Christmas cactus here, and these are the one I forgot the name. And see, when they're hanging over like these here, you see that, and then they become top heavy because the leaves are just so big. You can just cut that branch and then grow this as a new plant. And then the bottom branch there will grow its own if you put them in a pot where it has space by itself, and the bottom piece will begin to grow more plants, so then you end up with a bunch. Anyway guys, that's the update for the succulents here, because people have been asking. So I hope that you like the update for those that have been wondering how the plants are doing. Doing great, they're beautiful. Oh, and one thing, these are outdoor, so I have it under my patio where, as I mentioned, they get a lot of the good 4 to 5 hours of morning sun. The temperature now is around 98 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and they do just fine. Just monitor the soil. Make sure that they don't go dry for too long, because if they go without water for too long, they would start using the water in the leaves, and the leaves would shrivel and become wrinkled, and you don't want that. So just give it water every 3 to 4 days. Or if you see that the soil is so dry, then you just give them a good watering. Don't water too often, because they don't like to be watered all the time. They don't like their roots to be wet. And that's pretty much it. And then for fertilizing, anytime I fertilize my pepper plants, I use fish emulsion, and I just water these and give it a little bit of it. Don't do that indoor, because those things can smell pretty bad. So you can give them any type of fertilizer, really. They're just so easy. You can use those Osmocote pebbles. They're like the 1414 NPK. Just drop a few in there, and then those are slow release, and they'll feed the plant. And that's it. You don't really need to do anything crazy for these guys. They just basically grow on their own, low maintenance. They don't need to be fertilized too often, and that's it. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.